I also just want to say before we get started, any negative comments I have tonight are not directed towards Eva Mendes and Sam Elliott.
We've started,
So
right? So
yeah,
Yep.
I just wanted to
okay,
put that disclaimer out there though. Just like a
okay.
pre-episode disclaimer. Okay. Hey
Sam's a grown
nerds.
man.
Oh,
Sam knew what he was doing when he signed that check or when he signed that contract.
okay.
Yeah.
So with that, we will say hello again. Hey nerds. This is the Spirit of Nerd podcast. We are the podcast where we discuss all sorts of fun, nerdy things while we have some drinks. And we invite you to do the same. Come listen along with us and enjoy a drink also. So before we get started with the discussion of tonight, which is Ghost Rider, the Nicolas Cage 2008 phenomenal movie, we're gonna kick it over to Mariah to see what she's drinking because she flashed it in the camera. So I want to know what that drink was, Mariah.
Oh, I'm just going back to my classic vodka and orange flavoring.
You didn't make it after all that shit you were talking about.
Okay. Oh, I just
Oh
moved
shit.
my camera or my speaker.
Oh,
Oh no.
Just hit it with the drink. No, okay. So I went down this like rabbit hole of all these Negroni drinks, and then I started looking at other stuff, and then I kind of got tired, and it just never happened.
dang.
I spent too much time
Okay.
looking, and by the time I was like ready to pick something, and it was too late to go to the store, and then I couldn't go today. So
It
classic,
happens.
Okay.
classic vodka orange flavoring, vodka
All
bio.
right. Vodka
But
Mio.
wait.
Vodka,
In
okay.
honor of
Vodka
Ghost
Mio.
Rider, I am wearing the
Oh, the
hitchhiking
Haunted Mansion
ghost
shirt.
shirt. You know,
That's right. How
I
is
the
thought
that?
better
you
of
were
the two
saying the
ghosts.
drink was because of Ghost Rider.
I did too. I don't. How's the
Well, it's
haunted?
orange. There's flames, so
She got there.
Well, she got there with the
She
drink. I'm trying, still trying to find the connection with the shirt.
oh, because it's ghost.
because it's a ghost.
They're both ghost.
It's a ghost.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
David, I was going
Yeah.
to make a very poor joke about your shirt. I will not. What are you drinking? I'm not. What are you drinking?
How dare you?
I I thought you were also keeping a lot. It's too soon. David, what are you drinking?
Can we just
Oh man.
tell the people that aren't watching this right now what shirt is he wearing? Denise.
For the
David is
no,
wearing.
you don't get to say his name. I'm wearing an old dirty bastard shirt.
It's the iconic shirt. It's the welfare card
Yeah,
shirt.
it's from his album cover.
Mm-hmm.
And
I thought we were keeping it moving with the ghost shirt
oh
theme.
man. So it's so hard to look at you right now. For
You know what? But hear me out. I wasn't trying to say he was a ghost, right? In my mind, I knew it was a Wu Tang member, and I knew it wasn't Ghostface Killer. I don't know why I started to
If you
kick it
would
off
have been
with
wearing that shirt, this conversation would have been more appropriate. But I'm not really sure where you're going with the
hmm
ODB ghost.
you don't know
hmm
because he's
'Cause
dead,
he's,
Mariah.
I know,
David, what are you
but
drinking? David, what are you drinking?
I'm I had
We have to switch the topic. What are you drinking?
I had an old fashioned.
Uh huh.
But we started later than I thought we were going to start, so I drank it.
Mm,
So
okay.
now what I have is bourbon.
Ooh, okay. Just
Yeah,
straight.
just straight. The old fashioned was amazing.
Ooh. Did you make
Yeah.
it an extra way? Smoke
No,
it?
I made it. I made it regular, but I did the thing where you zest your orange and then spritz it.
mm,
So
Nice.
it was a nice. It had a nice aroma to it. I was very proud
Okay.
of myself. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And Denise, you've been excited about your drink. So what do you got?
I have this famously amazing. It's so I will disclose. It's supposed to be a tangerine whiskey sour. I couldn't find tangerines at my grocery store. There was mandarin oranges. So these little mandarin
Good.
oranges. It's a mandarin orange whiskey sour, and it is absolutely amazing. For anyone listen, what David?
I hope you never see a tangerine again.
Anyway, for anyone listening, it's a super easy drink to make. There is a TikTok of myself making it this past week. I tagged the person who I got the recipe from in the drink itself too, because he has other drinks in his page that I think you should go back and try to make. This one is super easy. I just kind of timed myself making it just now. It took me 3 4 minutes if that to make it. The hardest part, and I mean, and I say hard part lightly, is the muddling of the orange slices, but otherwise it is a super easy drink to make. And do not be scared of or egg whites in drinks.
Hmm.
I know that will
Nah,
turn some people off. don't
nope,
don't be scared of it.
don't do it.
No, you can't taste it. It makes the drink super smooth. It's and nice
Why
and
do you want to?
frothy.
You don't want to drink eggs. Don't do that.
David doesn't eat eggs. I will say though,
I don't.
the guy who made the TikTok, he gave there's like a chickpea alternative if you don't like egg whites and you still want that frothiness. There's some
Interesting.
chickpea, yeah, alternative
I
that
would like
people
to see
use.
that. Okay. See, I would
Yeah,
Well,
do
he did
that
comment and
because
he did like the video.
I know. I saw.
I feel like I miss out on some drinks because a lot of drinks are like that. They're like, yeah, do this, all this cool shit, and then throw a fucking bird fetus in there, and I'm like, why are we doing this?
But you can't taste it, and it's amazing. Yeah, maybe Shauna knows what it is. She's joining now. I don't. I can't remember what it is. It starts with an A, but apparently it's a chickpea alternative, and it gives you the froth if you don't want to go with the egg white. She's like, "What the fuck am I walking into?" Huh?
Shauna thought we were talking about Ghost Rider.
I was so
She missed those
confused.
deleted scenes.
We haven't gotten there yet.
We were
We're
talking
working
about
on
our
it.
drinks, and I was saying
Okay.
the with the whiskey sour. If you don't like the egg white thought, there is a P alternative you can use to give you that frothiness. If you want to skip the egg white,
I
but I
see.
can't remember what it is.
Okay.
But
Very strange.
anyway, well, you're just in time to tell us what you're drinking.
Sorry that I am late. I am going to try another mocktail. I'm making it right now. And this is I'm gonna do some lime seltzer, and this is kind of like a mocktail gin Ricky, which you can all mock me all you want for a nice gin Ricky, but this is another type of like botanical.
Hmm.
It's called Seaward. So it's pink grapefruit,
Hmm.
sea rosemary, woodruff, sea buckthorn, and wild seaweed. Um, I like grapefruit.
That
So
sounds intense.
That sounds like it
it
smells
is,
crazy.
but no, it mostly smells like grapefruit, to be honest. And then I just have my little seltzer and I do a little splash, and honestly, it tastes like a gin Ricky. I've had this before, so I know I like.
Interesting.
But it is
So
so
you went through
I
all that to get back to something that tastes like a gin Ricky.
I went through all that to find a mocktail that kind of mimics drinking a cocktail, because I had to. I bought some. I think I told you guys I bought some canned stuff, but it just tasted like juice, and it just wasn't doing it for me. So I did some research because that's me. And apparently the way to kind of like really craft a passable mocktail is to not go for sweet, but go for like bitter or sour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it kind of like activates the same kind of like taste buds as or like the receptacles of like feeling like you're drinking like an alcoholic drink, but not drinking juice. So this is a little bitter, but it does pass for like it mimics drinking like a cocktail. So I definitely prefer this to like the canned mocktails.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Denise, Aquafaba. That's what it's
There we
called.
go. Thank you.
I was never gonna get that. Denise, why would you think I know that?
That's gonna be on Connections. Aqua and
Aqua.
Faba.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Shauna, I thought you would get it because it just sounded like something that I thought you might know. I don't know.
Denise, you're gonna learn so much about me today.
Oh, with that, let's get into it. So, I just found out that after today, I'm no longer allowed to pick the spooky movie. So today was the last one. Today we are here to discuss the 2008 phenomenon, like I said, of Ghost Rider. The cover
2007.
page, 2007, 2008. Oh, you know why? I'll tell you why I keep thinking 2008 at the end. I'll let you know
Okay,
why.
you got it.
Um, but before we kick it off, David wanted to actually walk us through what Ghost Rider was like in the comics because it was
Yeah.
nothing like that in the movie. So, David, take it away.
Can I also just say like yes, please, because I did not know what I was getting into based on my like gut feeling of what the comic books would be, but with no actual fact involved. So I'm very curious versus what David's gonna say.
So we've talked about this before, where they change stuff, and it's like why change it? Because what you had to begin with was so fucking cool.
Right.
Mhm.
I'm not going to talk about like Ghost Rider as as he is in the comic books, as opposed to what happens in the movie. I'm just going to give you a pretty general outline of Ghost Rider. So basically, what's happened is he's made his deal with the devil. Yeah, save his dad's life. Yeah, um, but he doesn't just become this thing that the devil owns. He's actually has a demon possessing him. The demon is what really brings the Ghost Rider out, and it's mainly it's mainly Johnny Blaze that keeps the demon from coming all the way out. He does a good enough job of controlling it that he can still be a hero, right? Um he is you're gonna if you watch the movie, you're gonna see a lot of people shoot at Ghost Rider. He's bulletproof. He's bomb proof. He's pointy laser beam proof. He's stab proof. Nothing really can hurt him at all except for maybe some weapons that you can craft in heaven, maybe certain kinds of magic, but it's rare.
Right.
Um, for as strong as he is, because the movie's gonna do some stuff where you're like, oh, this is he in trouble? Um, he has fought the Avengers, and when I say the Avengers, I don't mean like one or two at a time. I mean Earth's mightiest heroes, every fucking body holding hands at the same time, right? This man punched Thor in the face with his own hammer. He's not somebody like he's beaten Galactus in fights. He's not somebody who um sometimes they just want to make a movie. And so
Y'all
and
too
so they don't
fast.
Okay,
and so
here
they
we
don't
are.
really care about who they're making the movie about. They just say, hey, you know what would be cool if we just had Ghost Rider do some shit. And so somebody read a half a comic book and then decided to make a movie.
Right.
And that's terrible because a lot of people looked at this movie and said, oh, what the fuck is wrong with Ghost Rider? And they kind of backed away from him as a character. And it fucking sucks because he was really awesome before these movies came out.
Yep.
Mm.
Are we ready to get into it?
Let's
Let's do
let's
it.
All right.
let's
Let's
go.
do it.
Okay. So we're in the intro before the movie kicks off, and we find out that there's a contract of 1,000 evil souls out there. The contract of San Venganza, which, if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, you know that extravaganza is like
Yeah.
that's all I could hear when I kept hearing Venganza. But this contract is so powerful that the writer who the devil picked like 150 years ago to do something, I don't even know what he picked him to do with it. The writer said, "This is so fucking strong. I can't let you have this." And he took off, and the devil couldn't catch him. He outran the devil, and he was on his mission to keep that contract away from him.
Mhm.
And
Because it's
then
Yeah.
the old
it is.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the old west. So that right from the jump, I was like, what? It was a voiceover and like wild shit happens in the old west. So
Oh, it was an amazing voiceover though.
But
And
also, Sam
yeah.
Elliott made it seem like it was about to be a really great movie. I was like really excited when I heard his voice.
you know what else made it sound like it was going to be really exciting? The title scene sequence. When they were riding through, like
Mm.
on that little adventure thing, but
Mhm.
it's the title scene, and it felt like we were on a motorcycle ride. I
Yeah.
was like, I would love to see this as a
It
ride.
felt like you were on a motorcycle ride.
It felt like it would have been a really cool motorcycle ride adventure at a theme park.
Is
I
that what
feel like
is that what you felt, or is that what they wanted?
I genuinely, just like Mariah said, I sat up in my seat and I said, "Oh, here we go." And I could hear this at Universal or at Disneyland, the music and everything with the visual effects. I could see the ride in my head. And I was like, this is better than what's that giant in Hogwarts that has a motorcycle ride at Universal?
Hagrid?
That's what
Hagrid.
Hagrid's.
that's what blew his ride
Yeah.
out of the water.
That's a child's ride, Denise.
It would have been, but we would make this with an adult
Just
ride.
Hagrid's
flames.
thing is more like discovering animals on that ride, right? Like,
I've never
It's
ridden this ride, but in my mind, this ride would be us. It's trying to run from the
oh
devil, the
man.
contract.
Okay,
If I'm okay, you know what? Fine,
let's.
fine. We'll talk about the movie
you know
now.
what?
Anyway,
I'm so happy you found a bright spot, Denise. You know what? I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say
I
that.
needed it because
The,
after
the
this
intro.
it went downhill. This was all I had after this. Okay. So Roxy is under a tree with Johnny Blaze telling him, "Hey, I gotta go. My dad's making me live with my mom. You're a phase. He doesn't like you."
Mhm.
So they come up with this concoction where, okay, tomorrow at noon, we're gonna ride off together into the sunset, right? This actress looked amazingly kind of. As soon as I saw her, I said, "Damn, she looks just like a young Ava Mendez."
Okay, and
They
so
did great with that
David
one.
Yeah.
was
Yes.
live
Yeah.
tweeting, and I saw some of David's live tweet, like what even like he was shocked that even Mendez was gonna be in this movie. I think that's something that David said in the tweet. So when I saw her, I was like, that is not even Mendez. David's definitely just high watching this movie. But then we saw her later, but I was like, this is a very low budget
I
diva,
was,
and
I
no
was
way
shocked.
they got
I
her
was
for this
shocked
movie.
until we got like an hour in. Then I was like, if it feels like she's at home with everybody else in this movie.
That's why I
Like,
said she's
Yes.
good, but if
yeah,
she
I
wasn't
thought she
really
was too
worth
good for it until it started, and I was like, no, she's
no,
just as good. Yeah,
She
but I feel like she was over.
Or did she match the tone?
she
Thank
did.
you. I
oh
feel
she
like
matched the
was
tone for
overacting.
That
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
is
did, and not in
what
a bad way.
she
I mean,
matched the tone.
that's what it was. They exactly got what they were going for. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely have that note too. That young actress is a perfect cast, but the young Johnny Blaze, I went, no. Oh, that's
Oh my gosh, that was a reach. That was
Yeah.
a reach. No.
Who were you gonna find that looked like a young Nicolas Cage?
oh, I don't
I don't know.
happened before the age of de-aging though, too, because I think that would have really freaked me out.
And
I
that
think
for
they
me,
could
that
have,
was the theme of the movie.
but I think they could have tried. And I mean, whatever. The actor that they had was fine. I just think
Yeah,
he just saw himself in such a light to say, "I want this." He's perfect. His hair, not a hair out of place. Perfect chiseled face, eyes. I mean, he was just like, "This is me." I'm like, "No," but
Yeah.
whatever. Whatever.
We'll
Decisions
try to
were
let
made.
Denise get through the
Well-
summary, I guess. Last time we didn't let her get through the summary. An hour
yeah.
and a half
Last time,
in.
like, yeah,
Please.
go for it.
Anyway, Johnny finds out his dad has cancer and he doesn't tell him because he's digging through the trash. Mariah, I immediately thought of you when he walked in the trailer and took those cigarettes out of his arm. I was like, here goes Mariah's
Here we go again.
no smoking campaign all over again. And then while he's cleaning the bike, Mephisto comes in because they kind of make it clear, kind of don't make it clear. This is Mephisto, and he walks in and makes a deal. Your dad, just give me your soul in return.
I feel
Nothing
like,
big.
and I mean, I didn't like research it, but I feel like that was one of those licensing things because they called him something else in the movie.
They called him
Yeah,
Mephistopheles. I think they called him by,
Mephistopheles.
like, his full
Yeah,
name.
like Mistopheles. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
They
I
called him
think,
by his full name.
yeah, okay, my
He was
bad.
a good devil.
Yeah, the name thing threw me off. I didn't know if you knew what that was about, but
It was funny. He was like, name your price. What do you want? Of course, I saved my dad. He was, I'll take your, and then looks around, your soul. Like, oh, yeah.
He was a good devil. Okay, add him to
like
the list.
you knew the whole time you were looking around that you were going to say soul. You weren't looking for
The
anything else.
whole time.
Yeah,
It's kind of funny because the viewers know that this is not going to end well. A deal with the devil usually never really ends well. So even though he says,
Yeah.
I'll cure your dad's cancer, I knew before, as soon as I said, "Oh, so you're gonna kill him another way." That's.
But I wasn't expecting so soon.
Why not?
In the next scene.
hey,
Yeah.
we're
But also,
just real quick, we're doing it. We're doing it. we're not letting you get through the summary.
I'm sorry.
We're-
But I mean, I feel
we're
like
gonna-
I want to talk. I want us to talk through the summary too. So
I mean,
I
just bang it out. It's gonna be 2 minutes. We don't have to talk about like the whole movie start to finish. Not a lot
I
happened.
don't have another way to
We
do
should
the
talk
summary.
about this part really quickly.
I
Okay.
do not have
Because-
another way to do the summary. My way of doing the summary is for us to talk and go through at the same time. I
Okay.
don't have
Okay,
either.
so we're gonna do just
Yeah, let's
derail
just
the
go.
entire time. Let's do it. All right,
Yes.
because I'm the bottom.
No. So with the whole, I'll give you what you want, but just be aware that it's a curse at the other end of this. It made me think of that Twilight Zone episode, that amazingly great Twilight episode, where he's like, "I just want to read in peace," and the devil's like, "Yeah, cool," and then breaks his glasses, and then it's just like, "Ha ha 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 ha, you dumbass!
Well-
Make deal with me."
I mean, the devil didn't do that in the Twilight Zone thing. It was,
Well, I mean,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah,
He was in hell. I thought it was the devil.
he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He was just. It was just very unfortunate. He was the last person on Earth, and then his glasses broke
Oh, I feel
because he wanted everybody to go. It was in the Twilight Zone, but I don't know if that's hell.
also
That's another.
I
That's
just-
another.
It's a quick little sidebar. Goog. I did a quick little sidebar. Goog. There have been a lot of deals with devils made. That's like between music and film and books and that's a
Yeah.
common thing. Making
Mhm.
deals with
Oh, yeah.
devils. So apparently Mariah was the only one shocked when Johnny's dad was killed the very next morning in a motorcycle accident.
The next scene. I mean, we could
Yeah.
like
It really.
that could have been a glimpse of
Nope.
hope, and then he killed him.
Now you gotta go.
And then he's fucked up
And-
because then he says, "I couldn't let him get in between us," and then he's in him for another 20 years. So he could
Yeah.
have lived for 20 years.
Yeah.
That was my note. I was like, why did you have to kill him so soon? If you
That's
didn't
what I
do
mean. The
something?
next scene.
Oh,
But they also
He
like they
showed
had
up.
to make it.
like Johnny was holding his dad. His dad's died in his fucking arms, and the devil just shows him at the end of the driveway just to point at him and laugh and fucking disappear again. He showed up for no other reason than to laugh at this
Nothing
man.
else.
Mhm.
They had to kill him. And
he get
he did all that acting to go from "How could you, boy? You're gonna run off" to "Good for you, son. Take my bike." So obviously he was gonna
Yeah.
walk out in like a 30-second turnaround. The man awful is just like, "Good. Take my most cherished
I mean-
possession, son." And then of course, yeah. Then he's got
it would have
Yeah.
been too long of a movie if they had
Whew.
to build a relationship. So they just had to get.
But he
him
didn't
out of
even
there.
like jump. He didn't even make it to the ring. He like slid and fell and fell.
Yes.
He
It's like there was a
fell
banana
between
peel.
the cracks.
Yeah,
Like, how-
there was a banana
he
peel
died?
and one
I don't
thing
believe it.
drink, And it's like, off to the
I
side.
genuinely cannot
and you
believe
see the
that's what
destruction. The
killed
ring
him.
is burst open. Oh man, it was wild.
Like, because it looks like he just stays on the ramp, and then the ring just explodes like prematurely
That's it.
almost, and
Yeah.
then and then he just lazily falls over the edge. like
What we're saying is, that
like
was-
he's 4.5 feet up. Like
yeah,
what?
that scene was not very believable.
It
All
was
that to
not.
say-
It wasn't
No.
great.
No.
It wasn't great.
All about to say we did not buy it. Johnny does not. I mean, again, another surprise to nobody. He does not ride off with Roxy. He leaves her standing under that tree, soaking wet in the rain,
Yeah.
and rides off.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yep.
I say my note for that whole first like flashback
Of
portion of
course.
the movie. So
Yeah.
I went, what the? I thought go a little bit dark and gritty, and I feel like I'm watching like not another teen. I think it was like a goofy spoof of the whole. And I couldn't get it out of my head after that. I was like, I am watching the like
Right.
not another scary movie parody of a comic book adaptation. That's what I'm doing right now, and it felt very long after. Don't understand. But
Can
then
I say
shot they all seemed to really buy into it. Really like leaned into the overacting and like the pose one-liners, and then I was thinking this is
Yeah.
the end of the spectrum that I thought that Constantine was kind of toying with. Like Constantine kind of wavered between like maybe the Dark Knight or we could be Ghost Rider. Like it was just I was like, oh my god, this is not what I thought we were gonna.
yeah.
my life
The
for the
acting
next 2 hours.
was very, very, very terrible.
Oh boy.
And
The acting was
Yeah.
terrible.
and even if you have seen it before, because I mean I've watched this movie multiple times. I'm
I had
always
not seen
surprised
it,
at how bad the
so
acting is.
I
Because
did not.
there
I
are,
was
I mean, if you saw that bill, if you saw Nicolas Cage, Eva Mendes, Sam Elliott, right, you're thinking, okay, this is gonna be serviceable. This is gonna be a serviceable, large city theater amount or level of acting, right? And everybody just said, "Fuck it."
You'd think.
they felt they
I mean,
leaned in so hard to like this
not one
campy, goofy
person,
shit.
not one person said, "I'm actually going to get into character." Everybody just said, "I'm going to show the fuck up. I'm going to read it. You're going to read it. We're going to get the fuck out of here. We're going to cash these checks."
It-
I mean, Nicolas Cage though, he just does anything and everything. He has so many
Yeah.
movies, but he
Nicolas
gets
yeah,
it
I
as
have
all. I'll give him that. He really gets in there
Nicolas
and
Cage.
truly does the best acting he can do. But
The best acting?
Nicolas
that he
Cage
could
played
do.
Ghost Rider twice, and as Denise can attest, he played two very different Ghost Riders. He couldn't even be the same character 2 times in a row. And I get it. It was the second one was Marvel Knights, so it was like a different universe. But holy shit, he played two different Ghost Riders, and
It was in association with Abu Dhabi Studios or some shit.
They
I
threw
don't
money
know
at a
what that
problem.
means. Yeah.
Not this one.
So-
We're not talking about that movie. But
No.
Okay, so what I was expecting to happen today when we were recording was I was expecting you to. Of course, it's like this campy, goofy. This is like Batman Forever.
Nah.
Of course, they leaned in hard and they did it really hoping the answer was like they did it on purpose.
No.
And then I was
No.
that like initially people were like that's just a terrible movie, but like it's seriously guys, people are out here saying like they did this on purpose. I was like, so 15 years later, we're just gonna call it intentional. I was really hoping I just missed the point. I'm so wow. Yeah. All right, everybody, hold on. We're gonna get some goofy shit.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. No.
With
I
that.
mean, sometimes you fall down and you get up and hope that somebody laughs, right? You can be like, "Yeah, I did that to make you laugh." Nah, no, it was bad.
It was-
and you didn't mean to fall down. That's
It's Gimli from Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
It's like it was deliberate. It was deliberate.
yeah, and
Yeah.
shit happens. I mean, you can make a bad movie, and it's bad enough to where people enjoy how
Sure.
bad it was.
Hmm.
So I
I can't
mean,
remember who
Crap.
This is just a classic Nicolas Cage level movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what like Leaving Las Vegas, Snake Eyes, 8mm, like those are the ones he's acted well in. Everything else, it's just
You
been
know,
a
I paid for
guy.
that mausoleum he has in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're back on it. You wanted it this way.
You did, Denise. You told
You
us.
said you wanted this. So
Fine. So we fast forward. He's a successful stunt driver on the road with his team and his new BFF Mac. We see a.
Oh, but before this, we meet the
What?
Devil's Son and his minions. Right?
No, we
That's
haven't been
before he
here.
gets there. 'Cause when he kills those people at the bar, it's like the first time we meet him. And I'll tell you why I know this because
That's
I wrote,
that's intertwined with this scene.
yeah.
but that's before he goes to jump.
Well,
Nah.
before the
I mean before the jump, but not before the introduction of the other
Yeah.
crew.
No,
yeah.
oh yeah, because they're on the bus after
Yeah.
he falls. Okay, wait. I'm my so, get ahead of
I mean,
here are my notes.
yeah, I mean, we're there if you want to. The only thing I was going to say is just I'm not a Nicolas Cage fan by any means, and I found out why watching this movie, especially watching this movie when he's on the bus, and Mac is like, you got an angel looking out for you, and Nicolas Cage looks out the window, or maybe it's something else, and then this lightning hits. That's it. This is what I cannot stand about this. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
It was
but
so.
no,
It was
go
like.
ahead.
watching this movie. Like I just,
It was awful. What the fuck were those jelly beans in that martini
But
glass
that's
doing?
but that's the thing. That's the thing.
know.
He's it's not second embarrassed. He's not embarrassed. There's no reason to
Yeah,
be embarrassed for him.
I
I'm telling like
know. Oh,
that's
so
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
I
that's
didn't
just who
understand the
he is in
candy.
every movie.
Well, I
I,
didn't know if
I'm
it's because
also
I don't drink alcohol, so I got to fill the glass with something. So I fill it with jelly beans. I
Yeah.
guess
yeah, it was
Yeah, I
weird.
didn't get that.
It's gonna
And
be
then
horrible
him
for your
laughing
feet.
at the monkey, like that was really cringy
Oh,
to
It was
watch.
so weird.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that whole scene was not.
And also,
Yeah.
like in typical fashion, like his Texas drawl really comes and goes. He really just picks and chooses when he's from Texas, and the whole thing
Is
takes
he
place
from
in Texas.
is he
is
from
he
Texas?
Canadian?
I
Oh,
don't
hold
know.
on,
I
I'm
don't know
looking this
where
up.
Nick Cage is from, but the whole movie takes place
I'm
in
trying to.
Texas, and the character is
I
supposed
thought
to
it
be
was
from Texas.
Oh, he's from New
I think some
Orleans.
I thought he was from California. His
I was trying to throw
dad's a
him up there with
Coppola,
Shauna.
right?
Oh, he's from Long Beach.
Oh, well then that's
Yeah.
yeah. Well, his Texas drawl did not last throughout this movie.
Okay.
It really came and went.
Yeah,
He
he's
did
a
not commit.
Coppola.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
he did not
Mariah,
commit.
why don't you tell us about Blackheart?
No, I don't want to talk about him. I just had a comment to make about the scene. That's where I thought you were at that scene. So you can
I'll
continue.
fucking talk about him.
Go ahead.
Let's do it.
Why? Okay,
Yes,
so
that's my note. Actually.
Yeah.
Shit, that's my note. Go ahead.
why? Okay, I mean, why call him Blackheart? If you're not actually gonna fucking do Blackheart, then don't. If you just want to do a white guy in a suit, let it be a white guy in a suit. That's
Yeah.
fine. Blackheart's not a white guy in a suit. Blackheart is a gigantic fucking demon with black tendrils fucking everywhere and all sorts of shit. And then they just made his mouth kind of sort of big to make him scary looking. And Frank or some weird Latin name to make him sound scary, like whatever you wanted to do. But why say Blackheart? Because then I get excited because I think, oh, Blackheart's coming, and then it's not Blackheart. It's just
It's that guy from American
a
Beauty.
fucking
Trench
accountant.
coat.
Yeah. Like anyway,
Yeah, and
Well,
that was.
it's like his weird.
Oh my
They
god.
were also they were again they were like
He had a little boy band.
yeah they were just like goofy motherfuckers. They just looked so hilarious.
they
And just
were,
so 2000s, just so bad.
Everybody really wanted to sell you ecstasy. They all looked like drug dealers at some rave in the Flatiron district. Is yeah.
And then and the pacing of the
Yeah.
movie was weird, but then they basically acted as like mini bosses. He just like kind of like knocked them out one by one very quickly.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
didn't even seem like bosses because, like you said, he knocked them out. He walked up to them. He just did a quick little ditty, and then they were gone. It was like there was no fights. There was no
Yeah.
struggle to it.
Yeah, it was silly.
Like he
It
literally
was
kept
weird.
the first one begging for
It was
mercy.
so weird.
What?
He said, hey, you know what to do. Go take care of him. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go do it.
But this group was called the Hidden, right? So it was these three guys, and they're called the Hidden because they hide in different elements. They hide in earth, air, and water. But they just do a very poor job of it. It's
Yeah.
really weird.
They're so bad.
When he stepped in that puddle and that nigga
Grabbed his foot.
Yeah.
The whole thing. It's just very strange to me.
I said, what?
I did not get
Oh
it.
man.
But Blackheart tells them all that he is planning on finding the contract before his dad and resurrecting all of those souls to bring hell on earth.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Tilda in Constantine had a better plan than this. I mean, hell on earth was coming for a very specific reason. I have no idea why hell on earth is coming here.
Just to
Blackheart.
take it
He
over.
was just impatient.
That's all he
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, he just wanted to like do it so
He
he
just
could be in
wanted to-
charge of this shit.
I guess, but your dad wants to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Why not let him
Look,
do it?
nobody. That was a
No.
whole separate meeting. Nobody went.
No.
Nobody went. So,
No.
they just said scrap it.
Yeah. Don't really need that. Got Sam Elliott doing voiceovers. We don't need a plot.
Yeah.
They'll just buy it and with Samuel and Evan Mendez, who is here again. Because before that 20th anniversary stunt, he runs into Roxy. She's standing like an angel at the end of the tunnel. And he
Posing.
sees it as his second chance, his
Yeah.
resurrection. Um, very awkward interview happens. And like we were all saying, just the overacting.
Crazy
Don't
awkward.
answer questions.
Another awkward scene. Yeah.
Yeah. And David,
Yeah, they
tweeting, I think you noticed, like, they had zero chemistry with each other.
Oh my
nah.
god,
Oh,
the
none.
history was so bad.
None.
It's like two. So like how do people say it? Like hate would be better than apathy. Like
Yeah.
I would rather they hate each other in real life and to see that come across on camera than to
Yeah.
see just the emptiness of two people who seem like they're not even in the same fucking room when they're acting.
Yeah.
Like
No.
I mean, they weren't even playing. They weren't
They,
playing up the same emotions. Like the words weren't the same.
Mm-mm.
Like she was talking at one tone, he's talking at a totally different one.
Not just that,
It
Yeah.
Roxy
was
couldn't just stand still. She was like, "How
yeah,
does it feel to be?" I was like, "Why are you moving around so much?"
yeah.
posing.
Again, no Ava slander on my watch, but I just didn't understand all of the extra things she
She
was doing.
she looked and sounded amazing while she was doing those things. I just
Oh,
didn't
she did.
understand why she was doing them
No,
and
very confusing.
talking the way she was.
Right.
I don't know
Okay,
if she was trying to
so
like play off of Nicolas Cage, like, because he's just
He was also being
weird.
super
I don't
weird.
know.
Yeah.
okay, here's Ava Mendez is pretty great. So I just follow me for a second here. So when
Yeah.
Ava Mendez got together, I was very confused because I couldn't really see how those two energies would match until the Barbie movie came out and I saw Ryan Gosling as Ken and he just committed. Actually, I didn't even see the movie. I just saw him as Ken and I saw the clips and I was like, he really committed to this. And then I remember Ava Mendez in the. Did you guys see the other guys?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
she's the hot
Yeah.
wife and he just like the whole time he's like, hi Sheila, hi Sheila.
Cheryl is like,
But
oh, shit together.
and that like that whole really funny and she's great in it because
Yeah.
she just commits to the bit. And so when I put those two together, they commit to the bit. They're in on the joke. They are just goofy and funny and they understand like how to do
Nah.
that thing.
No.
Watching this, I was like, I think she's seeing the energy and saying, I can be the report and pose at the end of hallways. I feel like she's mad. I feel like she's the only one who knows and she's leaning into it. At least that's what I'm hoping.
She can see what a shit show it was.
You know what?
That's my
You know
theory. That's my theory.
That is a great way to take this off of her. So I'm gonna go with your theory that she was the only person in the movie
Who saw what it was?
who saw what it was. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And she went,
Nick
I can do
Cage-
that.
Shauna, you missed the disclaimer, but no negative comments today are being directed towards Sam Elliott or Ava Mendez.
I didn't agree to that.
Agreed or
So-
not, they're not.
Noted.
'Cause we're going to have a conversation about Sam Elliott later.
All right.
Yeah, I've got thoughts too. All right, here we go.
Anyway, the devil he catches up with the boys and he lets them know, look, it's my contract. I have a writer, and you're gonna have to go through him to get it. And they're like, okay, cool, we will. And then plot twist, we find out that they are father and son. And again,
Right.
just questions come up of why not just work together on this? I don't understand, but I don't know.
It's
can
like
I just make
it's like a Sith thing, right? Like they have to. He's got to overthrow his dad. Like the Sith apprentice has to overthrow his master, right?
But I guess
I don't know.
they usually they're trying to overthrow each other's plan, but in this case, they both have the same plan. So that's where my confusion is.
Well, I guess because
Like,
only
Yeah.
one of them would get to be the ruler, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they don't want to do it together. So
no.
I
Because
don't
they're
know.
power hungry.
Constantine did a much better job of selling to me that this is a son trying to overthrow his father because the ways are archaic and I want to bring new reign. Like those words never came out of this guy's mouth. It was just I want to
No.
do it.
And there was also like twice they mentioned like something about being fallen as if it were very important and that we should know what that
Yeah.
Oh
like
yeah.
what for whatever like he's a fallen angel. So I understand like the reference to being fallen, but they didn't actually say like in this universe how that impacts his ability to rule or not rule on
It
Earth.
didn't.
It just they
Yeah.
Yeah.
it in there like it should be the explainer, but then they didn't explain it.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I'm
I
gonna
think
do it because I can't fall, and it's like, ooh, and
I think it was one of the things like sounded good. I don't think there was any like purpose behind it.
Yeah.
okay. Well, I was
Yeah.
Name was like
I
cast
was
out
trying
by
hard.
Saint Michael himself, and I said,
Yeah.
"What does that mean?"
Right. I was like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. What
Like
does that mean?
it seemed like one of those conversations that wasn't coming back later. Like they were saying it to sound cool, but that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, where are we
Also,
now?
Saint Michael, if you're listening, though,
I
apologize.
don't
I
even
believe.
fucking know anymore.
Anyway, where
Okay.
we are is that Johnny is his riding powers are activated. He's in the house because
Okay.
Ava is waiting for him at the restaurant for his date. Johnny's looking in the mirror and his
About
riding powers are activated.
Yeah, the whole date scene.
I need
Right?
to talk about her.
Super,
As,
super
So nice, pretty.
I just want to
The
say super
fact that
quick.
she's already a
super
bottle
quick.
of wine.
We are 40 minutes in. He has not turned into the Ghost Rider yet.
He's turning into the Ghost Rider now.
That's all I'm saying.
but it is 40 minutes.
Okay.
No, okay. So this is of me being like, what the fuck movie am I watching? Like when she was at the Am I Pretty Denise 100% was just like, what is happening? The whole bottle of wine, I was like, girl, you deserve that. That's fine. But when she pulled out the magic 8 ball,
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
am I watching? Like, I felt like I was watching like an Austin Powers movie at that point. Like, I thought next she was gonna bring out like a giant like astrology book from like the 1800s and like look up her signs or some shit. Like, I thought there was gonna be like a big gag building. She just had a magic 8 ball in her purse and decided to check it drunk at dinner. What is happening in this movie?
All about that. Well, while she's waiting with her magic 8 ball in her purse, the devil finds Johnny and tells him, "Okay, now your curse is activated. I need you to find Blackheart and defeat him because I need those
Yep.
souls back." So Johnny takes off, and then this is their first meeting. Him as the rider against Blackheart and the Earthbender dude who he takes out. And like I said, in 0.2 seconds, one punch in the
Yeah.
face, and the Earth guy is on the ground begging for mercy. So they don't feel like fights to me. This whole none of these felt like fights. I don't know.
They didn't feel like fights because this entire movie is a how do we make somebody who can fight cosmic beings so goddamn boring that we can put him into a street fight, which is basically all this movie was. It was a little series of street fights with Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to do tacky shit like that,
Yeah.
and because what else are you gonna do? You're not gonna blow the budget every single time you have a fight. You've already established that when you brought Nicolas Cage in to do the job. So
Can we just talk about that transformation? That entire scene
Oh, the transformation.
is like, I guess I'm saying Nicolas Cage really was putting his all
The
into this
laughing?
movie. The laughing, the eyes, like I just couldn't. It was just
Yeah.
could not take it serious.
Oh boy. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
It was all pretty bad. Very dramatic.
and y'all didn't watch Vengeance, so you didn't see the if they had him on a leash in this one. That's what I'm gonna say.
Ooh.
Ghost Rider Vengeance. They took the leash off and said, "Do."
Oh man.
Don't
Oh,
do it to
boy.
yourself, please.
Oh man.
I'm not gonna.
Speaking of the street fights David was talking about, on his way, he actually does fight like a little common street thug who is trying to mug Rebel Wilson. And this is where we get the introduction of the penance stare.
Yeah.
Rebel
So we
Wilson.
find out that it is making the person on the other end of it stare into the eyes and feel the pain of the victims that have come before him, or that
And-
Do
that you felt.
And like a second
Rebel-
later. Go ahead. feel your feelings on this because I felt the same. I was like, this.
The fact they had Rebel Wilson in this just keeps up with this like goofy like
It's so
vibe
wild.
Yeah. Very
that
bad.
they've been doing unintentionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then also like 2 minutes later, the grave guard. Well, God damn it. The penance stare. That's like your ultimate weapon, and I'm like, he just used it on a mugger. Like,
Yeah.
Fun
Okay.
fact though, he also used it on Galactus, and that's what.
and on a mugger.
No, that also kind of says to how they wasted him in this movie. But fun fact, you know who it does? You know who it doesn't work on?
The Punisher. I was about to say, did it work on
Yeah.
Galactus?
It worked on Galactus
Which is
because
crazy to me.
Galactus. Okay, so this is a whole other topic. I'm just going to say in 2 seconds. So Galactus isn't a bad. Galactus is a necessary evil. He's like death. I mean, people people have to die.
Right.
These planets have to die for other planets to be born. So Galactus is a necessary evil that eats these planets. He doesn't want to do it. He feels like shit for doing it. And that's how Ghost Rider beat him, because Ghost Rider hit him with a penance stare. So he just threw like
'cause he
planets and
felt
planets.
bad.
Yeah, because he felt bad
Gotcha.
about
Because
it.
the Punisher was like, no. And I'd
Yeah.
do it again.
You know who else?
Super
Deadpool.
Frank.
Deadpool,
Yes.
it will not
Yeah.
work on Deadpool either.
Yeah, it doesn't work on Deadpool either. So
And then there's also other rules to it, like it won't work if you have more than 2 eyes. It doesn't work on like what animals and stuff like that too. So there are other instances where it doesn't work. And then people like Punisher and Deadpool who are like, I feel nothing about anything that I've done in my life, and
I'm
would
a
do it.
true
Yeah.
sociopath.
Yeah.
Good luck to you, sir.
Yes. So we don't know at the time, but he runs into the caretaker, who is Carter Slade. I mean, you know, Sam is just dropping every hint in the world to him that I know who you are.
right.
And Nicolas Cage is just trying
He's
to
not
get to
even
him, like,
hinting. He's like,
he
hey,
literally
you're
just-
Ghost Rider.
Exactly. The only time the only time he stops his track is, what deal did you make? That's the only thing that makes him stop and turn around.
Yeah.
And not once does he question why this man knows so many things.
This scene to me, okay, again, another analogy from Shauna. This scene, you remember the scene with David Duchovny? They're in the cemetery, and he's just like, "But why male models?" That's what this felt like to me. Where he had this exposition where he was like, "This is me telling you I know everything about you," and Johnny Blaze was just like, "But what? But what did you say? I don't. But what?" And I was like, "Oh my goodness."
That you can quote it like that?
No, it's just an iconic scene. But why male? It's also iconic because he literally just forgot the next line, so he improv'd it.
Oh.
Character that they kept it in.
Denise, you made a choice to. I was just letting it go because I don't.
I just had to
Is
know.
it-
I was
is
like,
it-
wow.
No, but well, I mean, now that we're on it, like, is it a white thing? Mariah, are you? Can you quote Zoolander also?
Quote it? No.
Okay, I can't. So it's a white.
The
is it-
only part I could quote, he's like, "It's like a house for tiny ants." He's talking about
It's like a house
okay.
for ants.
Oh yes.
That's a good one.
Okay, but like the school one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because
So-
Shauna,
Yeah,
I promise,
that we know Zoolander so well.
I had no idea what you were talking about.
I'll send you all a YouTube so that you can understand. Because oh man. Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
All right.
you. Well, I will accept.
We're with the
So,
caretaker.
In the scene where Sam is chasing him around and kind of telling him everything he knows about the Ghost Rider, he throws in another tip of, you're normal by day, but at night around evil, that's when you'll transform into the Rider. Now, keep this in mind, because we will come back to a very important tip that he does not tell him in this scene. But for right now, we think he has told him everything he needs to know about being a Rider.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Except for the daylight part, which real quick, I'm just gonna throw this out there. He's not a
Yeah.
goddamn vampire. The Ghost Rider can turn into the Ghost Rider during the daytime. That's just.
Please.
I don't know where.
I was like,
There's nothing else to it. I don't know where this nighttime shit came from. Maybe it came from some iteration of the Ghost Rider that I didn't fucking remember. But
because I spent the movie
Broad daylight,
believing
yeah.
him. I was like, okay, so this is a nighttime thing. And I was like, I don't understand the rules. I thought I knew them. I thought you told me the rules, and now you're not playing by them, and I'm
No,
confused again.
this,
So
no.
So,
I just
okay.
imagine you being at some comic convention and talking to a Ghost Rider fan and then saying that, and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about? He can transform anytime he wants to. Get out of here."
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
I believed Sam Elliott. Like, and then he's just a liar. Like,
Well,
was-
it's not his fault. Don't blame Sam. Again, no Sam or Ava slander. Anyway, so
What do you mean,
Roxy
don't
breaks into his Roxy breaks into his house. Johnny tells her what's going on. She doesn't believe him. She storms off. Milliseconds later, he's arrested by police because they find his license plate at the scene of the fight before, where he killed the Earthbender and where they killed somebody who was 3 years up on retirement. They throw him in jail. Hilarity ensues.
Yes.
can I just
I
say,
mean,
so the is literally Ava Mendez's ass. Like, it's just her ass and then like some cops standing, and then she like does her reporter walk up, and I went, this is so 2007, because isn't this exactly how they introduced us to Black Widow? Shot of her ass and then panning up, and I went, well, there we go. This is the 2000s right there.
first of all, I wouldn't complain about that. Secondly, I don't remember that either.
I don't see women as objects like that, so I didn't even see that part
Oh. Okay.
of the movie.
All right.
So
Well,
On third of the screen, and like not in a bad way. I'm just saying that that's how they framed the whole. Well, there we go.
I genuinely don't remember that. I believe you, but I do not recall that. They had to bring this movie up somehow.
And they did it in
They
true
had to.
2000s. They did it like they did it in
Oh.
the 2000s. They put
Yeah.
her ass on
Yeah.
the screen.
I'm not gonna say I don't believe you. I'm just saying it must not have been. I don't remember seeing it.
are you being for real? Because I was joking. I remember this. I mean,
I don't remember it, and I just watched it,
okay. Well,
and I love her, so I would look for that. I don't recall it. Anyway, the rider is fighting on the rooftop. By this time, he's got the chain, he's got the stare, he's got the jacket, so he is the iconic Ghost Rider from the comics. He's fighting the airbender guy on the rooftop.
yeah.
The guy looks at him because he tries to catch him with the chain. He says, "You cannot catch the wind." To which he then just starts whipping his chain around with the fire, and then he
Yeah.
proceeds to catch the wind like 0.2 seconds later.
Yes.
I just
And it disintegrated the
understand.
demon. Like he created a little wind. Oh no, wind, and like disintegrated. You're made of
Okay,
wind,
all
my
right.
guy.
Okay. 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 So that was the only part of the movie I liked.
Oh no.
Only because
It's
I was
bad.
like, oh,
That's bad.
they at least paid attention to the chain part. So his fire is, I mean, it's hellfire, so it's not like a,
Yeah.
it can burn physically, but it also like burns soul, spirit, stuff like that. So when I actually saw this, like his spirit catching fire and burning off, I was like, okay, they got that right, so I was happy there. But I guess
That one, that guy, that airbender person seemed
Yeah.
like out of the henchmen, other than Blackheart, he seemed like the main one to me. So I thought, they would have kept his fight for last.
they did shoot the camera to him a lot for somebody who died so unceremoniously.
That's what I'm saying. I thought
Yeah.
he was the main out of the
Yeah.
three, and that he would have been the last one, and his fight would have lasted a little longer. So the fact that he was second, and he was like, "You can't catch me," and then immediately got caught.
You know what's crazy? I don't remember how the third nigga died. There's a gap in my
we'll
brain
talk about
between
it.
this
We'll talk
this
about
one
it,
and
'cause it
Blackheart.
was
We'll get
yeah.
there.
Yeah, we'll get there because it was also very. Ugh.
Because also before this, during the chase, Ghost Rider rides his flaming motorcycle off to the river and just continues to flame in the river, and then rides
He did.
Yeah.
to escape
He
the
did that.
entire fucking SWAT team that just appears out of
Yeah.
nowhere. The whole police
Yes.
force of Texas and all the troopers are there suddenly. And then he just
That
is
happened.
like, I'm going to ride my bike on water out of here.
Out of here. While it was on fire. Yeah. It was like, huh.
I was
Oh,
on fire.
again, it's not.
Because it's
It's not.
hellfire. I'll take that. It's
Yeah,
hellfire.
It's
Okay.
not. It's not fire like we
On
understand
water.
fire.
But he's on the water.
You know, you will
That's
fight
not.
me on
That's not hard.
the physics of flying and saying it's not real, but when it comes to hellfire, that's where you're drawing the line there.
Yeah, that's it. And
Okay.
look,
Okay.
look. We can slander the movie.
Yes.
We cannot slander Ghost Rider. Okay.
Okay,
We have to.
fine.
So we gotta.
Like Sean
Ride
said,
his hellfire bike on water in the comics.
I sounded so fucking condescending. She said that hellfire bike. No, I don't know if he's ever ridden it on water, but I'm pretty sure he could.
Yeah.
It's hellfire.
like Shauna said, he does all this in the presence of the SWAT team, but he also draws out Roxy, and they have this little touching scene to where that lets Blackheart know, okay, he does have a weakness, and it's Roxy. So
Mhm.
Popped out in front of the entire firepower of the state of Texas, and they all shot around her.
Mm-hmm.
He can sense evil. If Blackheart was 20 feet away from him on a rooftop and he didn't feel him there.
Not a thing.
Nothing.
Nope.
He only felt her.
Yep.
He just felt her.
Johnny.
So, they go back to the house. They go back to the house. He's looking for her. They're running around. I don't know, whatever is happening. Roxy and Mac end up in the same apartment, and Mac says one of the best lines I've ever heard. He said, "Riding the gravy train on biscuit wheels," and I swear to God,
That's a good one.
Riding the gravy train on biscuit wheels. Oh my God, way to say that. He also
Probably the best line of the movie.
line of the
I
movie.
caught that one. Caught me.
Hands down. Oh man. But he dies very unceremoniously, and
Yeah.
Johnny Blaze
Didn't
doesn't
see it
even
coming.
care. Didn't see
Nope.
it coming. And
Did
Johnny
not see that
spent
coming.
no time on it. Doesn't say his name ever again. It's just,
Yeah.
he's just dead. That was your best friend.
No.
And he's gone.
More. But this is also where and he was like riding around and he was just Johnny Blaze, and I was like, wait, rules. Isn't he Hell Rider? Like, isn't he Ghost Rider? I was so confused.
We don't know.
I was going to ask later, but we'll talk about it now. He never really brings it up again, right? I think he says something about his best friend at the end.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
But
The
does
death
he
of
ever
Mac?
bring it up again?
I
Yeah.
don't think he brings Mac
I
up
don't-
again.
Mm-mm.
I don't think so. I think he goes Mac, and
That's it.
like on
Shit.
seeing his body.
That's what I'm
he's
saying.
done.
God damn. That's
Yeah.
some
All
cold. Okay.
focus after that is on Roxy, and that's all he talks
Yeah.
about and cares about. And until he does.
And also rude because
Well, I mean,
spent his entire career trying to tell Johnny Blaze to try to not die, and then, well, to the with the ass. I gotta go.
Yeah.
God.
it's so great because he has no idea what just happened.
Yeah, Shauna, you like
You
froze.
froze.
Saying die,
As you
you're like,
said, die, it froze.
But you were still talking, so when you came back, you just finished the sentence and you nailed the end of it. I don't know what you were talking about,
Sounded great. Sounded great.
but I'm telling you, you nailed the landing.
Yeah. So Blackheart does a switcheroo. He comes into the house because Johnny comes in. He sees on the ground, kind of just hyperventilating, and Blackheart tells him, "Look, you work for me now." Twist. And he says, "Go get that contract and bring it to me, or I'll kill her."
Yeah.
So Johnny does one thing that he knows that he can do, and he goes back to the caretaker, and he asks for the contract. And
He
the
gave it up quick.
Gives it to
Sure
him.
did.
Quick.
Yes.
Too
He was
quick.
like, 150 years. I have not said a word about this, and here you go.
Here you go.
Since you asked, yeah, here it is. Now there was some monologue about how you did this for love, so you must have done it for the right thing, and there was some other
Yeah.
things happening. but-
God's on your side, so that makes so that makes you powerful. There was some
yada,
like,
yada, yada.
At least
Yeah.
make him dig for it.
But then he
Yeah.
says, Venganza is 500 miles away, so we better get going. And then Johnny says, we? And then flames, chaos, drama, a Confederate Army uniform cops out of nowhere. And he says, I don't know what he says. He says something, but we find that he's Carter Slade.
Yeah.
got one last ride in me.
He does. And listen to me. Carter gave him all sorts of rules in the very beginning, right? He says, I got one ride left in me. They ride off. The horse comes. Johnny's like, can you keep up? He keeps up. They get to the spot. Carter goes, well, that's it. That was my last ride. That was all I had.
But nigga, he
Exactly.
just disappeared.
Every
So,
ride. And
this
my
is-
All I
thought
ever
was,
wanted to do was ride 500 miles on my dead horse and then ditch you in this
My-
desert.
My thought was, how we've been saying that Ava knew what this movie was? I was like, Sam, David, remember how we used to watch Major League all the time? And
Yes.
they would be in the outfield and balls would hit him. And he'd be like, he's just trying to get out of the lineup.
Yeah.
Sam absolutely ad-libbed that line. They were in that desert and Sam said, hey, I had one more in me. That's it. I got to go. Because Nicolas Cage doesn't say anything. He just sits on his bike and then he's, thank you. And then Sam rides off. I'm like, Sam just said that out of nowhere. That was not in the script.
Nope.
They got to the desert. He was probably supposed to accompany him into Venganza. Sam said, hey, this is my chance. I'm taking it.
I'm getting
It
out.
was like a hostage. This is my last turn. I'm out of here. Good luck. Stay out of the shadow. Stay in the shadow.
Sounds like his last ride. I didn't know there was a limit on rides.
That's what I said.
So-
There was a limit.
I was like, you have limited ghost abilities?
No.
My deep dive into Ghost Rider didn't happen until after these movies came out. Ghost Rider, unless some shit happens and God just comes down and strikes Ghost Rider just dead. Ghost Rider is immortal until somebody can actually kill him.
Yes.
There's no last. He ain't just pull a ticket that said you got 17,000 rides, nigga, and at the end of that you just turn into a fucking vapor. No. Well, he's like, oh, it's my last ride. I'm out of here.
Disappeared.
Yeah. He
What?
just turned around on his now live horse and walked away.
So I'm
So
concerned. I'm convinced that was Sam. That was not
They-
him
Oh,
with
boy.
the script. That was him just trying to get out of that.
He's like, I'm not doing it anymore.
I've got enough of
I'm
this
not.
shit.
Bro, I'm
That's
done.
it.
I can see where this is going. Get me out of
He
here.
said-
I'm done.
He said I could do some more acting or I could do the fucking prologue. One of the two. But like I'm not doing fucking both.
I'm not doing both. You are not paying me enough to be here for.
And you know how they film scenes like out of order? They probably only had him for a short amount of time, so he probably got to a certain point. So they probably did a scene like early on. He was like, "I'm done."
It's so funny, because we have at work, we have.
He's like, it's my last day. Gotta go.
Yeah, we have contracted hours with them that we prepay for, and it was like, well, no, my time's up. So yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
That's
That
it. That was the last
turn
ride.
in me. And this
So
was
do not call me back for the end of this movie.
do not. No.
I've already
in-credit-
filmed-
No in-credit scenes.
I already
If that-
filmed the voiceover.
if-
Done.
If this is what happened, then I'm proud of Sam Elliott for getting the money and getting the fuck out of here. If this is
I'm convinced.
if Sam Elliott genuinely walked up to set day one eating a sandwich, put that sandwich down and said, let's shoot this shit, and then pick that same sandwich up like 3 hours later and just took the fuck off,
Listen,
then
that
we're good.
hair, everything. He was like, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. I'm gonna give you all the best 3 hours I got, and that's it.
If
It's
if he had a trailer and he spent the night in his trailer or put clothes in it, then I lose faith. But if he just showed the fuck up, rattled off some shit, and then dipped out, okay.
and was out.
You know what I bet
Besides,
it
he didn't
was?
check, man.
Creep. I bet he agreed to this movie to do the voiceover, and then they were like, "Oh, but we would really like you on screen." And he was seeing the shit go down, and he was just like, "You me for the afternoon, then. That's it.
That's it.
Make it
I
work.
did not need my face here. Make it me in, shoehorn me in, do what you need to do." Wow.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. Well,
I hope
so
that
he
was the
rides
case.
off.
yeah, yeah. But he's not.
Yeah.
And then the cursed horse. I hope they got into heaven. That was just sad. Anyway, the waterbender fight. Um, so David,
Okay,
yeah,
so
he steps into the puddle, grabs his
and
foot.
If it helps, Denise, there's no heaven or hell for it. The reason that the Ghost Rider can't stare into the soul of an animal with the penance stare is because they don't have souls in this universe.
Well,
So they
well,
just
Denise doesn't
die
like that.
into. I
why
know,
would,
but
I hate when people say if it makes you feel better, and it immediately will not make me feel better.
well, because he's not alive or dead or really anything. He's just some sticks clacking around the bin there.
To answer your earlier question of the fight water scene, water, there's a little bit of tussling, and then he does the penance stare to the waterbender.
But wait, because number one, he's riding his motorcycle, not the Hellfire motorcycle, just the motorcycle through a swamp that looks like it's from the Princess. It looks like they just kind of threw up some sticks, and it's like, yeah, just go. And then yeah, he grabs his leg, and now they're like fully submersed underwater, having a struggle. I'm like, how deep is this water? Because he was just riding his bike through it like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. So then there's the Blackheart fight scene where he's fighting Blackheart, but he actually gets the contract and calls the souls to him, and he turns into Legion.
The fuck is that?
I was like, what's Legion?
What? Well, something they made up for. I mean,
they
well,
definitely made this up.
yeah, Legion is somebody wholly different than what just happened here. Like they just made this
Absolutely.
up for the movie. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a mutant. I don't know what this was. This was
and it's
yeah.
wild because if they if if they cared, the Blackheart villain should have just been the villain of the movie. They didn't need to do this whole there's a town and off somewhere else and collect all these souls and become this Legion character who I mean really serves no purpose other than looking scary for 5 minutes. Nothing like
Right. And to be clear,
yeah,
these thousands of souls they're all supposedly evil souls. They all gave their soul to the devil and just made different deals with the devil or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
when they took over his body, thousand souls, just evil souls inside of him. But the
right,
kicker is now he has a soul in him. So guess what works now?
right.
The
Penance
penance stare.
stare.
And that's what he does. And that's how he's
But it
defeated,
shouldn't work.
you know. But here we are.
But
It worked.
but also, can I just
It
say,
should,
like, I'm supposed to be cursed souls, but when they were doing like the visualization, like, people that we had been told during the movie were innocent, and I was like, wait, are these innocent souls? They shouldn't be able to burn.
Oh no, you're talking about when they were doing the penance stare?
Yeah, like the
What?
No,
people
that's
that
showing
were
you the
like,
people that you've hurt.
No, that's the people they were showing that they hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
because I was like, also
Yeah.
when he did it without a soul, so like, does that count? Anyway,
Yeah,
No, they were doing
that
like a
was
whole like feel their pain kind of shit.
yeah, feel
Yeah,
their
it was-
okay,
pain.
so
Although I
Yeah.
will say the guy that retired, I feel like he didn't really feel any pain. It was pretty quick.
Mhm.
I don't know. Whatever.
I was gonna say I've made it clear I don't understand the rules of, so
No, but they didn't either. It's fine.
So
Yeah.
Mephisto comes and he's like, "Yay! Here you go. You defeated Blackheart. You got rid of the contract. That wasn't part of our deal, but whatever. You defeated Blackheart. That was our deal. It really, in reality. So here, I'm gonna free you now. Go off with this beautiful woman. Have lots of kids. Live your amazing life, and just go be great."
He said
What
no.
the fuck did John tell him?
He said no. I'm gonna beat your ass every chance I get. He said fuck my family. Fuck this ugly bitch standing next to me. He said fuck everything.
Fuck everything.
You and I made a deal and you honored that deal and I'm gonna fucking kill you. You son of a bitch.
He said, "This is my curse to bear, and I'm gonna use it on you."
And you can't walk out because it's over. Like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, you made a bargain with this nigga. he did exactly what he said he was gonna do. He fixed your dad. I'm sorry, your dad can't fucking drive a motorcycle. What the fuck ever? Yeah, he showed up, laughed. That's fucked up. He said, "Yo, you got to do this job. You do it, you good to go. You go do the job." He shows up. He says, "Hey, I'm a man of my word. You good to go."
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah,
say,
but not just that. He said, "Hey, go be great. Go live, go love, go laugh,
he said,
go
"No."
do all these things." He genuinely wished him well.
He said,
And
"I'm gonna
Nicolas
spend."
Cage looked him in the eyes and said, "No, this is my curse to bear. I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep it and I'm going to use it against you."
If they had stayed
I
on for like 15 seconds longer, Mephisto or Roxanne, one of them would have said why,
yeah.
and, and he would have had to answer that shit.
And he wouldn't have had an answer. What was the answer? I
Like
didn't
she,
understand
like
that ending.
the lady just said she wants to go home, bro. Like, why aren't you going home? Man, I gotta beat your ass every time I see you.
Every chance I get, I'm coming for
Yeah.
you.
This this is about the time that Mike walked back in because Mike refused me. Shocking. And he saw me watching this scene. Like I don't think I understand what's happening. This can't be ends. And he was like, "So how's Ghost Rider?" And I was like,
I was
I don't
genuinely
I don't know
confused.
how this is 2 hours later. I don't know how this know what I'm watching. And then he asked, and I went, I don't think anybody is claiming this.
No,
No
no, not
Denise.
one.
It's not,
Mike,
here's
Mike,
the
Mike,
thing.
Mike, Mike, Mike. It was Denise's idea. She did this. The reason, the reason you heard chains clanging around in your living room, fam, was because Denise said she wanted to watch goddamn Ghost Rider for
I
spooky
hadn't
season.
seen it. And just like Shauna said at the beginning, you thought it was more of like a scarier, hauntier type of movie. I genuinely
No.
he is that he I should have known Nicolas Cage would have fucked it up, but I genuinely thought this would be like a Punisher type movie.
Yeah, Mike's
I
trying to be a good dad. He's sitting there playing with his daughter, and you got Shauna listen to the goddamn Spirit of Vengeance
I thought this
motorcycling
was
around the house.
any other version of Ghost Rider I have seen. He is
No,
nothing to fuck with. Even in the
right.
video game, Marvel versus Capcom 3, that man would send you to hell in a heartbeat in that game. I genuinely thought that this would be
And you
somewhat.
know, that is why I love Christopher Nolan. Because when Christopher Nolan did Batman, he said, "Look, I'm not doing this dumb shit. If you, I'll do a superhero movie, that's fine. But what I'm not going to do is just come out here, grab a fucking check and run." If anybody who did Ghost Rider had given a shit,
Yeah.
if you're giving me Ghost Rider, great. You're giving me Mephisto, great. You give me Blackheart, fucking amazing. Like you've already got everything you need to make a great fucking movie.
Exactly.
At that point, you just have to give a shit.
Yes.
And they fucking didn't. They skimmed through some comic books and they just grabbed some names that they knew. They said, "Oh, we'll take the Ghost Rider that rode a horse and throw him in here." Oh, this is Ghost Rider's wife in a fucking previous backstory. We'll throw Roxanne in here. And they didn't give a shit to do anything else other than say, "Hey, give me your fucking money. I don't care if you're happy at the end of this or not."
But I will say, what's crazy to me is Nicolas Cage is not a skim through a comic book type of fan. Like last time we were talking about, or one time we were talking about Henry Cavill and how he is a nerd. Nicolas Cage is a nerd.
Yeah.
He is a
Mm-hmm.
comic book nerd. He has them tattooed on. His son is named Kal El, right? Like he is a fucking nerd.
Yep.
Like I don't see him skimming through a comic a shit about this. Like I don't understand why this was a joke.
Because he
Why it
didn't
was.
write it. If
I'm
if they
saying he
if
didn't
they
write it.
if they had
However,
given him better shit to work with, he would have worked with
he
it.
has production credits on this movie, so he had something to do with the direction of this movie.
Oh well, then shit.
So
Who
that's what I'm saying.
knows?
I don't.
I
Yeah.
genuinely don't understand. I genuinely thought this would have been a good spooky season like suggestion because Ghost Rider, the fuck.
I said Blade. For
He's
for everybody
he's a
listening, I said
flaming
Blade.
skeleton on a motorcycle with hellfire and a mystic
Yeah.
chain, and he does a stare that will send you to hell. Like, who?
Well, it doesn't send you to hell. I
Well,
mean,
you know
it'll.
what I mean. Like, he could kill you with it, depending on how bad you are,
Yes.
or he could just make you feel really like a lot of pain. Either
Yes.
way, he walks in between heaven and hell. Like he can, or earth and hell. Like he can be in.
Also,
How
heaven
did
and
I?
hell. Fun fact: Ghost Riders can also be angels. Like at the end of Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, when he's blue, that's because he's got an
I'm gonna tell you right
angel.
now. If you thought I made it to the end of that movie and saw that he was fucking blue, no.
Okay,
Thanks for
this is
I'm,
spoiling it,
I'm,
Peter.
I'm, I'm, I'm not upset.
Go ahead, Mariah.
no.
Thank you.
I
Thank
had to
you for
look
sending
this
it
up.
off.
I had to look this up just to confirm, but the reason why Nicolas Cage does or has done so many movies is because he was in like serious financial like trouble and debt. So he
Yeah,
was just taking anything and everything,
but this isn't
including
anything.
this.
This is Ghost Rider, and it had the Marvel introduction title scene. Like,
It did, but okay. So
Wait,
yeah. So
wait, wait. Are you saying he did this to get the bookies off him?
Yeah, he owed the IRS 6.3 million in property taxes. He had to take this movie.
but this wasn't a
Ooh.
But he
fiasco.
did two of them. He did two Ghost Rider movies.
Well, he was still in
No,
debt. He had to
no,
take the second one
he did one Ghost Rider movie. I don't know what the fuck that second thing was.
4 years later.
I do not know what that second thing was.
That
He did
second one was
Ghost Rider.
fucking amazing. And whatever, we're not talking about it. So
We're not.
But
that second
okay.
one
So
was amazing.
also they had the Marvel like title card, and it did. And like Mike looked at when Mike walked out, but he was like, "Oh, Marvel," and I was like, "Yeah, I guess maybe this was Marvel Studios, I think." But I also think I read
Mhm.
that this was a Sony Marvel thing.
This was
So-
when Marvel was broke and they were like renting out or leasing out
Yeah.
the characters. So this was a Sony production. But
Yeah, so for me, I was like, so like at the success of their like kind like campy Tobey Maguire that are like kids movies, and they're like, oh, we made a lot of money doing those three. That was the year Spider-Man 3 came out. So they'd already done it, already seen it, and they were probably like, well, we'll just do a Spider-Man, but with Johnny Blaze. But Johnny Blaze and Spider-Man are not the same.
no.
But
I
Sony,
was about to say,
Yeah.
I think that's what we got. We got a kid washed version of Johnny Blaze that Sony thought that they could just
which I don't know
be done
why
with.
we would ever get that. That doesn't make
No.
any sense.
No.
Spider-Man being campy makes sense. He's fucking campy in the comics. He's a kid.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
makes sense for him
Yeah.
to be campy. It does not make sense for the Punisher. It doesn't make sense for Deadpool gets away with it but I mean these are still rated R movies. Like it
Right.
doesn't make sense for these certain characters to be campy. He is not a campy person.
No.
I just don't understand why they
because they made
so
money.
My suggestion for this,
Yeah.
Mike.
Because his head's I'm about to say, yeah, because
It's
his head's on fire, so you can sell that.
No, not
Yeah.
just that, but just a lot of things. I thought this was a good spooky season suggestion, Mike. I did not know I was wrong.
Well,
Until
you
I
well you
watched
know
it.
now, and that's important. That's really important to me.
I
Well,
not
we'll
to drag
say-
your name, but
It was Denise.
it was
No, let him know.
Whatever.
I will
My,
say,
da-
as
my
kind of
daughter wants to be the goddamn Ghost Rider for Halloween now, so thank you.
oh,
Ghost Rider is cool. This movie is not.
Ghost
Like,
Rider's cool as shit. No,
Thank
but
you.
she also wants to watch.
The Spirit of Vengeance. Fuck that.
She wants to watch the Spirit of It.
She thinks
What?
she does. The Spirit of
Second
Vengeance,
one.
the second
Oh.
I sat
Girl.
down because I told Denise if she watched it, I would watch it. I was like, I'm not gonna break my promise. So I sat down today and I rewatched it. And as she was leaving for swim practice, she was like, "You're watching it without me?" I was like, "Yeah, I got you for the podcast." And she said, "Okay, well, can
It was a
you
lie.
watch it?" No, she was like, "Can you watch it with me again?" I was like, "Yeah, I got you."
For the record, because I don't know.
So
if
now
you
I have
know
now
why-
I have to watch it again.
I don't know if you know this. Idris Elba is in that movie.
Yeah,
And he does nothing for it.
nothing, not a goddamn thing.
Well, I
Nothing.
still have the AMC Plus app,
Do
so
not do
maybe I'll
it.
just watch
There
it.
has to be something else on there that you can watch. Don't
Get
do
out of
this.
there.
Nothing,
Don't do this.
nothing. But I will say, what was worse than this movie was watching it on the AMC Plus app. Like they couldn't even get the rights to the movie. You had to watch it like it was on TV.
They were
And
trying
like
to bring the
the fake
commercial, and then
commercials.
yeah,
To that point, because I guess I watched it on YouTube TV, and I guess YouTube, like AMC channel, had it on YouTube TV, so that's how I watched it, as if it was on
gotcha.
the AMC channel. So when I first started watching it, I got commercial breaks, but then they took the commercial breaks away, and by the end of it, I was like, "Come on, man, where's a commercial break? Like I needed a break. I was like begging for the
They said,
commercial.
"Nah, you."
They're like,
I
"Nah, just
also
watch it
did.
straight through."
I on this movie, I was like, oh my god, I'm halfway.
It wasn't that long, was it?
Halfway. It was
It
two
felt long, but it
hours.
was like it was half like the story was happening like quick, but the movie
Yeah.
was just like really long.
Yeah, no, I felt
Okay.
like it was only an hour and a half.
You must say it didn't feel that long to me.
It wasn't.
Maybe
I
it
don't
just
think it
was
was.
not
Of
entertaining.
It started.
a
It
very
started
long
dragging at
movie.
the end. But I
Yeah.
wanted. I like when Sam Elliott turned into a fucking Ghost Rider too. I was like, man, y'all got to get the fuck out of here. Y'all got to end this. Like, so
Well, this movie was pretty well received, I guess. The first one, anyway.
yeah.
$100 million or so to budget to make. It made double that in theaters. Um, yeah,
So just real quick, we're not talking about Spirit of Vengeance, and I get
no,
that.
please.
I just want to throw out there that Spirit of Vengeance is not a sequel to this movie, so you're not missing anything by not
No.
watching it. Marvel tried something in the early 2000s, early mid to like in the 2010 arena, where they started to shoot their Marvel Knights, like because they did one with Punisher also. They
Yep.
did a regular Punisher movie, and then they did a Marvel Knights Punisher movie that was supposed to be like grittier and like more violent.
Yeah.
And they tried to do it again with Ghost Rider, um, and it doesn't work. Like I mean, the movie it's a very very bad movie, but if you
Very
give it
bad.
a chance and you drink enough before you start watching, that's the key because
You talking
you
about Spirit of
can't
Vengeance?
yeah, you can't go into it. It's a Spirit of Vengeance is a cocaine party. Spirit of Vengeance is a 1984 cocaine ecstasy. Everybody's wearing shiny suits.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to make it out of this okay, right?
No, Sean
That's
and Sean and
that's
Junior.
how you have that's how you have to go into it watching it. You can't go into it like, okay, I'm about to watch a good movie. No, like
Don't do
you
it,
need to
Sean.
you need to
Don't do
go
it,
into
Ryan.
this like, okay, I'm going to pause this in 10 minutes because my Taco Bell is going to be here, and I'm drinking vodka and Mio came to mind first, but it wasn't like a.
Don't do
but
it.
like that's the kind of that's the kind of movie it is. It's a I'm going to get shit faced and eat junk food and watch a purposely bad movie.
No,
If
don't
you
do it.
do that, you'll fucking love it.
I only took like maybe
That's
4 lines of notes in this movie before I gave up, and every note ends with 2 to 5 question marks. Every single note. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Who is this? Where are we going? Like every note ends like that. But I
That's a
will say
lot of
just
my
to wrap
notes
this
for
up.
this one. Yeah.
Yeah. This movie, I think Nicolas Cage was actually nominated for Razzies for this film, in
yeah.
2008, which is why I kept thinking this was shot in 2008. So 2008, he was nominated for Worst Actor for this movie, and in 2013, he was nominated along with the movie itself for A Spirit of Vengeance. Spirit of Vengeance was nominated for Worst Ripoff. So,
Ooh.
Hmm.
uh,
They
don't
were
watch
not
it.
wrong. They were not
They were
wrong.
No.
not wrong.
No.
And then just going to Rotten Tomatoes, because this is a movie where the critics gave it like 27% or whatever, and the audience gave it like 40%. It's funny going back to like 2011, because I was trying to go back to 2008 to see where the mindset was of people reviewing it. And I couldn't keep going back that far. It seemed like they got a big boost of reviews because in 2011, people were
Well,
watching this movie to prep for Spirit of Vengeance. So a lot of
Mm.
the comments were yeah, a lot of the comments were this movie fucking sucked. I hope that Spirit of Vengeance does better. And like people were crossing fingers and everything. I really want Spirit of Vengeance, and I just really
Okay.
hope those people are okay right now.
Ghost Rider was a 27% of Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes, Spirit of
Spirit of
Vengeance was like what, a
Vengeance.
14? Yeah.
You're a little low. It was. It is currently sitting at 19% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a mess all around.
Do you got a quiz or are we done or
I don't have anything. I just want I just want it to be done. That's it.
okay?
No, I don't want anything to do with any more in this movie. I
Can,
won't pick the next thing. So
can we talk about Spirit of Vengeance just for like 2 minutes?
you can. I don't have anything to say.
The one thing I thought about Spirit of Vengeance that was cool was that he actually so in the comic books um he does get possessed by an angel and he turns blue. And at the end of Spirit of Vengeance, I was sitting there rewatching it today because I really hadn't intended to do it. I was just going to say, yeah, I'll do it so you would do it. But then I was like, no, I'm not. I'm too old to lie now, so I'll just fucking watch it. So I was sitting there watching it, and then at the end, he turns blue, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the fucking Ghost Rider, whatever." And I was like, "Oh shit, that was great." That's the only. That's the only like 5 seconds I genuinely enjoyed the movie. Was it cool to watch? Yeah. When Idris Elba goes over that cliff in slow motion, he starts fucking.
Please, Abby, fuck you. That was the worst.
Oh man. Or like when they get to the club and Nicolas Cage has a dude pinned against the door and he's trying to explain to him like, yo, look, man, if I really let this motherfucker out, everybody's finna die. So just tell me what I want to know so I can leave. And his eyes start gouging out, and he's talking about the rider scratching at the door and shit, like yelling at him.
no,
Oh man, it's art. It's art.
no.
It's one of those things where if you haven't seen it, um, and you want to really call yourself a Marvel nerd, you have to watch it because it's an initiation. It's
It's a
terrible.
hazing. It sounds
It
like a haze.
is. It's a
Seriously,
fucking. It's not a good movie. You're not going to enjoy it. It's not great. You just have to be able to laugh at how bad it is.
it's actually. I was trying to find just a quick synopsis of it, but I mean, basically, it's the devil's son. The devil is trying to get a kid, and they're
I don't know how to explain it. So if you
the
got
devil
one,
is
go
trying to
for it.
get a son. He's trying to get his son back so that I don't know. I don't know. He's trying to get his son. Satanic rituals are trying to happen. Powerful people coming. And
Okay, so the
no,
devil.
We don't
what?
have to
No, we're done.
continue.
No, oh no, 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 no. I got
Can
it.
we
I got
wrap
it.
up?
I got it. The devil had a son so that he could take his son's body because it's half human and put all of his power into it because on earth his power as a devil is kind of diminished. So he hires this douchebag hitman mercenary gun runner guy to get
Mhm.
the kid, but the guy that he hired is actually somebody who used to date the kid's mom, so they have like a history thing. Anyway, somewhere in the general area, Johnny Blaze, not the same Johnny Blaze from the other movie. This is a completely different Johnny Blaze. They don't share a backstory. This isn't a continuation.
Even the contract looked different. The
So
contract in this movie where it was
there
like
she
maybe two
is.
pages and it was in Latin and he dropped his blood. This
Yeah.
contract in this movie looked like something you print off of Microsoft Word. It was like 23 pages long and it
And
literally had like a little sign here piece of tape arrow that he put on. It was the
and if you
fucking
didn't
worst.
if you didn't
I
think
think
it
I'll
was
watch it.
serious, he cut his hand on the top and then they show you his cut hand just so you
Mariah.
know he signed that bullshit ass contract with that blood. Please don't watch
Just
this
no,
movie.
I don't
Anyway,
I'm gonna watch it after this and then
long
cancel AMC.
long story short, the kid turns out helping Johnny. The black dude dies. All the white people that are supposed to live. That's it. They never make another one, thank God. But then I hear that there's a third one coming out, so I don't know what to fucking
no,
do.
they're not gonna do it.
Without a joke,
No, the third one was planned, but they're not gonna do it.
Okay.
So,
All right.
ta-da! Ghost
All
Rider.
right.
Well,
That's it. We have one more spooky season movie before Loki.
Do we? Because
Speak
Loki's.
wisely.
Oh yeah, because the week we record will be the week
yeah,
Loki comes
Loki's
out.
next week or
Yeah.
in 2 weeks. I
2 weeks.
can't
Yeah.
pick it, so I'll let one of you surprise me with whatever we're gonna do since I'm banned.
Killer
Okay.
clowns from outer space.
No.
What? No. Anyway,
I'm
Mariah,
sorry.
you wanna send us off?
Well, if you've been watching live tonight, thank you. If
No.
not, and you're
How?
listening to this, what?
How?
How?
If
Honestly, if you're still watching, because we went on some shit. I'm sorry. First of all, second of all, thank you for supporting us,
I think
Denise.
we did a
We
very professional and thorough breakdown of that movie.
Shada jumped in. Shada, you jumped in like what 10 minutes in. We-
I think we did a very professional breakdown of that movie. Mariah, continue.
we
we
did
did
do a
great.
breakdown.
Yeah,
We
it was
did.
professional and thorough.
It was thorough.
Okay.
Professionals get
Mariah.
paid.
I said everything I needed to say, so I feel good about it.
Yeah, so if you watched us on Facebook or Twitch or YouTube tonight, thank you. If not, you're listening to the first time on Apple, Spotify, or wherever else you listen to your podcast. Thank you. So be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok. We will post when we're doing the live stream so you can watch and interact with us. And of course, if there's anything you want us to watch, let us know, but it won't happen until the winter after Loki. So we
Yeah.
have a winter movie.
Oh yeah, we had the boys coming too, or Gen
There are
Oh
V.
yeah,
yeah, Gen V's coming out too, so
Genevieve's
there are
coming.
things to watch.
You know what? That's what I was thinking about the whole time I was watching this movie. Is I liked and David Garth
Mm,
Ennis does the boys. Preacher was
He
fun.
does.
yeah,
And
Preacher,
Preacher was Garth Ennis also. Yeah.
Preacher felt like wanted to be like that's the bar it was should have tried for. But anyway, Preacher was fun. I liked
Yep.
Preacher.
Preacher was fun. I liked. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
All
good.
right.
Anyway, now I've said everything I
see
need to
ya.
say.
If you happen to download AMC Plus to watch Ghost Rider,
Just pay $3.99.
also watch Preacher because it's really fucking good, and I'm pretty sure it's on
Preacher.
AMC Plus because it was on AMC. So yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah, that one's a fun one. That one.
All right. Until next time.
All right, see you later.
Bye.